All right, the polls have opened in the most unpredictable general election race for a generation as it emerges today that a quarter of voters say they could still change their minds. Analysts believe Britain is heading for a second hanged parliament in succession after the most drawn-out election campaign since the war appeared to be ending in near deadlock, with Labour and the Conservatives tied at 35% each. Prime Minister David Cameron's Conservatives and Ed Miliband's opposition Labour Party have been neck and neck in opinion polls for months, indicating neither will win enough seats for an outright majority in the 650-seat parliament. Now, a hanged parliament could yield weak government, but propel the United Kingdom towards a vote on EU membership and stop Scottish desires for succession. Britain's post-World War II political consensus, which saw the Conservatives and, of course, the Labour take turns in government, is crumbling as once marginal parties in Scotland and England steal millions of votes from established parties. And, of course, we were hoping to speak to James Smatt, who is in the UK, to give us updates on what's happening in the United Kingdom. But I guess technology always has to fail somehow. But we'll try and hope to get to him so we can be able to speak to him about those elections. I'll now hand you over to Najma Ismail for more on what's happening in the world of sport, to give us updates on what's happening right there. And hopefully we can get James Smatt back on Skype so he can give us updates on what exactly he is observing on that end, to also let us know. But just so you know, the polls opened at 7 a.m. UK time, and 50,000 polling stations are across the United Kingdom. Polling stations are closing. Unlike we who close at 6 p.m., they are going to be closing at 10 p.m. James Smatt now joins me live from the United Kingdom. James, thank you so much for joining us. And first, of course, this is an unusual election compared to what we're used to back here in Kenya. What are your observations for this election?
Well, just to cut a bit of your analysis there. First, you have more than 20+ million people going to the polls. Then it's a different system whereby people have to elect their MPs, who in turn, elect or sort of bring together and get a prime minister. So in effect, the people don't elect their prime minister directly; they elect MPs in different parties, and that party end up, making a majority, or in this case, as the polls are suggesting, a minority government or a coalition government of some sort. But a few differences here about the election here and the rules. It's sort of not an event as what you have back at home.
Mm-hmm.
So today, for instance, if I just get this point through, today, for instance, there is no TV coverage of the polling stations, who's saying what, who's polling where, and that kind of thing. It's in the laws that they sort of make the elections not an event per se, so you have to do it before and after.
Right, and for the first time, people have been able to register and vote online. Have you been able to see or how the entire process was being conducted?
Well, one of the things that is very progressive is the fact that you can have people registered from their postcodes. So it means if you're in a house that has 3 or 4 people, that postcode, can be given 3 ballot papers, and you can vote. You just need to, tap an envelope and send it through. Mm-hmm. That has worked very well. Make sure that the numbers, are sufficient, that people actually go, so you don't have to literally go to the polling station, if you like. But most importantly, online, people were registered online. So it's the matter of the Electoral Commission sending you an email, say, please, as your us, and then confirm that, and then should they do that through, and it sort of helps show up the numbers so that people don't have on that election day, which, like I've mentioned, is not a public holiday as we have back home, and that sort of thing, that people can vote from their homes and from their houses.
Well, thank you so much, James Smatt, for your observations and giving us an insight on what's happening in the United Kingdom. We're also seeing 9,000 council seats being contested across 279 local authorities in the United Kingdom. And, well, we'll keep you up to date on what's happening in the UK regarding the general election there. I'll now hand you over to Najma Ismail for more on what's happening in the sport world.